now. My goodness, my headphones have registered that I'm talking. I'm in my building right now, in kind of a little nice library space we have. So this is a public space. Technically anyone else can come in here at any time. I'm just hoping they don't, because I don't want to be filming anyone if they don't want to be filmed, obviously. So I'm setting up right now to spend some time working on my novel, which is mostly complete. There's a beginning, middle, and end all written, but it hasn't reached kind of the level of depth and the length that I want it to. So I'm about to do kind of a planning technique, if anything. So basically I'm going to write kind of the plot points of individual scenes on little pieces of paper and kind of spread them out and see if that will help me visually kind of work out where more depth and more scenes can be included. My issue with things feeling missing is mostly because this is a kind of road trip-esque story, and there is so much time technically not included in the plot right now, in the writing that I've done, because it's like, and then they drove for 6 hours. And what am I, like, it's gonna be boring if I just sit there describing, like, them sitting quietly in the car, like, one of the characters is asleep, one of the characters is just quietly looking out the window, one of them's driving. So I want to work out adding a bit more depth to it as well, and not just like, oh, so they went from point A to point B. There's symbolism I've been incorporating that I'm really, really proud of myself for. But yeah, basically I'm gonna try and see if I can add some kind of subplot as well. So this is just, I figured that I would take you guys along with me just to show kind of a new idea that I'm toying with for how to get through this stuff a little bit better. Okay, that is so pretty. And then I'm just gonna pull up what's been written so far. Try to be quiet because it's kind of like 10 p.m. right now and I've been working on this for a while. And again, I'm in a public area, like there's apartments out there, so I'll try to be quiet about this. But basically, this is what I've been doing for like 2-ish hours. I just kind of worked off of the chapters I have going on here, and I have sorted them into scenes. So each piece of paper is an individual scene Some of them are longer than others, of course, and then each spot I have going on here is a chapter. I'm up to 18 chapters right now. I just expanded, as I was doing this, into 2 more chapters by splitting some up. Now I've started highlighting with, as you can see, the orange and the yellow. The orange is going to be where I'm going to include additional scenes or details, and the yellow is things that I need to edit, that I know I need to edit conceptually. I'm really hoping that you can't read any of these specifically very well because that will be spoilers, but basically this is how I have it set out. I also like having them on individual papers because later on I figure I can sort them into in plot days, and I can also sort them into states as they're traveling, and so I can have a visual idea of how much is happening, where and when. But so far, this is just my chapters, and I've already, as you can see, this one here that's been highlighted so much it's like curled up. That's an additional chapter or scene that I'm going to add, that I'm planning on. So in this way, I can kind of stare at summaries of all my scenes and see what else can be included and what the important parts are. So this is what we're working with as of now. Okay, so it's been a day already. It's the next day after I made these. I still have them around. I have since highlighted not just the yellow and orange, but I've gone about with the pink and the purple because this purple highlighter is barely visible. So what I've done, see, that's highlighted in purple. So what I've done is I've highlighted the action scenes versus the calm scenes so that I can kind of get a look at where we stand with them. So basically I've just been working with these today to see kind of what needs to be done, and also looking at this, the actual writing of it so far. And of course over here we've got the Pinterest board open. I'm having to put my phone all the way over there just to get the right shot, but whatever. So right now I'm sitting here with my little cards that I've been sitting here with all day. So I've sorted them several times. The reason I like having the physical piece of paper is because I can easily sort them into chapters or days or states as they travel. And then I kind of know which parts are dominating the story right now. If I remember correctly, the story is currently being dominated by Nevada and day 4. So if there's anything I need to add, it would be day 2, I believe. They're only in Utah, I think it is, for like one scene. But that's because geographically they barely pass through the corner of it, so that's fine by me. Yeah. One thing I also noticed by highlighting the action versus the calmer scenes is that there's a run of about 9 scenes around the end of Nevada, I think. So Nevada to California, where it's all calm scenes. And so I feel like I might have to take a closer look at that and see if it's kind of letting the tension fall. And if it is, maybe add a complication somewhere in there. There is actually, there's a run of high drama scenes near the end, of course, but that's because it's near the end, so that does make sense. So basically, this approach has worked actually, and it has helped me to kind of identify spaces that I could input more details or insert an additional scene that was previously just kind of like time skipped, and also to see where the action is and where the action kind of fades. and to see kind of, like I said about the time skipped and scenes I could add in, I was able to determine that day 2 passes pretty quickly. There's only a couple scenes that should be do. So that is something that I could address. Yeah, so now I've worked out some stuff that I can address in like what is technically my first round of edits, but even though I have a beginning, middle, and end already, I'm not considering this as a first draft just yet. Just because my kind of edits that I'm doing right now is less like editing for content or editing for grammar or anything like that. I'm fixing things when I see them. But my main intention right now is to add things that seem to be missing. So the first draft still feels incomplete to me. So once I get things added as much as I want and I feel like the story is rounded out and kind of complete, then I'm going to consider it the end of the first draft. I don't know if I'm going to read through all the chapters again at that point online, or I'm going to try and print them out and give myself a physical copy, kind of make sure I didn't miss anything that should be edited before I ask someone to fully beta for me. So I might, as soon as I'm finished fully with draft 1, print just the full manuscript so I can have it with like my pens and my highlighters. And I think that that's going to be a part that I really enjoy, is being able to hold it in my hands and edit it that way. But I'm a Berkeley College student, so I'm either going to need to scrape together a little bit to get it printed at an Office Works, which I think would be fun because then I can get it bound and then it can be like a manuscript. Or I'm going to go to my grandmother's house and use her printer for free. Because like I said, I'm broke as hell and I'm still here making coffees in my building instead of actually working at a cafe, which I would love to do, but I still haven't been able to get a part-time job, and Santa would honestly just like let me starve to death, I think, at this point. At this point, I'm just really lucky that my parents are in a position to be able to kind of fund me staying alive while I study and work on this. I've had more time to work on this lately, which has been super fun during the break between semester 1 and 2, and I got, in retrospect, I think I've gotten most of this writing done in the break. So for the winter break, I got about 46,000 words on this first draft in progress, and I think there were maybe 3,000 or 4,000 for the old chapter 1 that I kind of updated and inserted into this, and then the rest was written kind of on the spot during this last break. So I think in retrospect, I've done a lot of really good work. I put a lot of work into this the past few months. So actually that's really cool. I'm nearing having the first draft finished just within a few months, which is actually, I mean, that's something, it's something. These last few days before I have classes starting again, obviously I'm going to take at least one day to get my schedule put together so I know what I'm doing, and until then I'm going to be working on this as much as I can, maybe applying to a few more jobs. I applied to a few more earlier today, but I would like to be able to work on personally making content and working on my novel that's coming while I still have the time before classes. Absolutely take over my time. So I think we're in a really good position where this is the thing that I want to do recreationally as well as I'm working on. So I'm getting a lot more done because of that, and also I might be able to still get some done while a few more days before then. And we'll see how much we can get done. Alright, gang. Don't mind the look. Since we have spoken, have been to the gym, showered, had dinner. Now I'm staring at this document again. And, I think I'm actually going to go play my video game downstairs instead of writing more today. Just because I've already put some work in today, and I think I'm actually proud of the work I've done so far today. So as of overall, the work I've done since I've started taking you guys along with me for this session or sessions, I have written 550 words yesterday, and I wrote 203 words today, which isn't a lot, but considering I'm just kind of editing / adding right now, it's kind of decent. There's another scene I've already put in a sub-document of the scene that I want to write there, and I have my little cards in the back of my highlighter packet there, so those are on hand. I think overall making those was really helpful for the reasons that I've already gone over in my last clip, and so I won't bore you guys with repeating. You can, scroll back if you want, but I do think they really helped, and I think that I will be incorporating that tactic into writing and editing the novels that I do from here on out as well. But yeah, for now it's just going to be putting in more work, putting in more time in kind of adding those few scenes that I think would really add something to the story, fleshing scenes out a little bit more, because I feel like I was rushing a little bit through the first portion of writing. I forgot what I was going to say. And then add maybe a little bit more action in between those 9 scenes where there's no action randomly. But yeah, for now I think that is the work I did on writing for these past couple days, and kind of the upcoming work I have to do. Let me know if you guys want to hear about the project itself. I might finally start kind of soft launching this online if you guys are interested in my plot. I am deciding to self-publish this one, at least for now. There's been quite a few self-published novels that, once they gain popularity, have been republished through a publisher. So I do think that if this is something that's going to gain enough popularity, or that's going to be good enough for a publisher to really want it, that they can, I don't mind publishing a second edition later on if somebody decides to reach out to me. But for now, I'm just really into being able to have this look the way I want it to look, and getting it out into the world as a passion project that I might be able to make a little bit of money on. I'm really excited to just get to advertising it and sharing it with people and talking about it online, and talking to more people than my mom about it, because she knows more of the lore than anyone, quite frankly. She knows some of the spoilers that I haven't told anyone else. Not all of them though. Some of them are just for me. Yeah, I'm really excited to finally start talking about it with people, and hopefully getting enough people to read it that people can talk about it with me. That's the part I'm super excited about. But yeah, for now we're getting into more editing than writing, which is exciting. And then hopefully I can start getting something kind of polished and get something out. I'm thinking the end of this year or the beginning of next year, which would be really exciting and fun. So that's it for tonight. I fear I'm going to slack a little bit tonight. I want to go play my game. So some more work is probably going to get done tomorrow. It is Wednesday, so I have a good few more days before my classes start to kind of get myself back into a like campus mindset if need be, and I'm fixing my sleep schedule, and I just kind of need to put my class schedule together in my planner and things like that. But yeah, I have a little bit more time to focus on this, and then I will be getting back to the journalism work and hopefully getting something out for you guys about that as well. The last video turned out really long, so I'm going to try and make this one kind of a day in life, or maybe just a focus on my schedule in general, and try not to have rants in this next one, something like that, so that I can make it a little shorter. Yeah, that's what's upcoming for me, and I hope to get a bit more studious videos out for you soon. And until then, see you next time.